Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome to the RPA Summer School session 3. Just a reminder for all of you, and I see many of you after each session are still asking this question, like where they can materials from past sessions, where they can RSVP. If you have RSVP'd to a past session but didn't make it, please remember the program is live but also self-paced. So yes, the content is available, and you find the content here on this link, which I will put now in chat. Please keep this link and use it. If you want to go to the content at any time from past sessions, just use it anytime. You can play within the sessions, go from session to session. You will see all the recordings there. You can download the PDFs from the presentation. So please use it. Okay, I will check the invites right now because I see people are still waiting to be admitted. Wait. Okay. Let's wait a bit more now for everyone to join. Okay. Okay, I think we should all be now in the call. So I'm going to paste again this link for the RPA Summer School, and please use it just to get to the content from any session you want from this particular module. You will find all the sessions here, all the recordings, and the PDFs for download. If you have any other questions, please use this address to ask us questions. So you can contact us at community.uipath.com and we will help you. Questions regarding the sessions, things that were presented, the use cases, or anything else that you have a particular question about, just ask it. Yeah, you will receive an answer or from me or from Afe or from Needy or for one of the other trainers from the other sessions, depending on the subject on which you ask. Then what I would also like to ask you now, given the chance that we're beginning this session, and we would love to get some feedback from you. Some of you received the feedback form if you already went into the other modules, some of you didn't. Here is a copy, a link to a feedback form. If you have registered to all the sessions or some of the sessions until now and you're planning to take session 4 as well, please go through this feedback form now or in the 4th session, but please give us some feedback. It's really important for us to know how this program went, and if you want to roll it out again in the future, for example, next summer, just what we can do better, or how did you feel within this program? What did you learn, how it was, and just give us some written feedback too, so we have some testimonials from you, because you are a great crowd and we're very happy to have had you here. So now that we're done with all the administrative stuff, yes, I'm going to share the link again. But guys, when you miss links, just scroll up in the chat and you will find the links. So if you want the links, the email address, just scroll a bit up in the chat and you will see the links and the addresses there. Yeah, and you will also have them in the presentation, which you will be able to download. And remember, once more, all the content is on the RPA Summer School main page. You can go to any event link from there and find it. So just keep that first link to the RPA Summer School ready available, so you can access it at any time you want to go back to the content or recordings. All the recordings are also up on our YouTube channel, like UiPath Community YouTube channel, but it's easier for you to access them from the event link. Okay, now today we have gotten so far. I'm so proud of you. So we have gotten as far as Word and Excel automation, which is actually quite a landmark in Studio X. So this is, let's say, the beginning of the real adventure when you really learn to automate tools you daily use. Last session was about user interfaces, and perhaps that made sense for some didn't. But Word and Excel, I'm sure, makes sense for everyone almost. It's going to be a bit more difficult, but a bit more enjoyable probably too. And you will see some great exercises presented by Afe. And coming to our team today, we have Afe, who will be your main trainer today. So hello, Afe. Then you will also have Nidhi in the chat, who is supporting Afe as his colleague, and she will answer all the technical questions. And you will also have me, and I will answer all the questions regarding to community links, StudioX Academy links, and whatever else I can help you with. Just ask. Throughout this session, as I already told you, you're going to be muted until the Q&A because we have quite a large number. I apologize for that. I'm really sorry. I know it is not nice, but please use the chat because you are going to receive answers in chat. We are there to help you. In the end, we'll also unmute you for Q&A and probably will get a chance to take like 2 or 3 questions depending on how long the session lasts. But please use the chat and don't be afraid to ask. You can also leave your LinkedIns in the chat if you want to network to other peers and beginners in RPA, other future citizen developers. And please remember to also join our citizen developer chapter if you want to be updated on future programs and events for citizen developers. That is like RPA beginners. So you can go and join the citizen developer chapter here and you will be updated anytime we have an event for citizen developers. So that being said, the agenda for today. So we have like a presentation of resources. This will begin from StudioX, which you have already downloaded and installed. You'll do a quick check with Afe on the add-ins you have, and then you're going to download the exercise files for today's session. Then you're going to go smoothly through word automation, like what is word automation and what can you automate, how do you use it, do some practice. Then what is Excel automation, what can you automate in Excel, how do you use it, and also practice exercises again. We are going to end it in Q&A, of course, and then some useful links. Please, if you want access to follow-up links, like links we recommend to follow up on exercises or tutorials, just stay till the end because that is the very last slide in our presentation. I think this is all. I think I can pass it to Afe now. I'm going to go to chat now and see if I can answer more of your questions. Just make sure you stay attentive because again, of course, we have the Menti quiz, which will be very fun. So pay attention so you can do the quiz right and answer fast for winning. The prize is a UiPath voucher for swag, UiPath swag. So I'm sure everybody likes that. We had the winner so far. We're going to have another winner today, as long as you pay attention and answer fast. Thank you very much for coming. Afe, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Good day, wherever you're joining us from. And thank you for doing this third session for this module. So I'm going to share my screen now, but I can see in the chat some persons are saying they cannot download the exercise packs from Google. So can you drop your email address? I think Teresa has done that. Just drop your email address so that Nidhi or Christina can.
Let me share again the link for the exercise pack download. Afe, you can share your screen now.
Okay.
Try this link and tell me if this works for download.
Okay.
Please.
Think
and
I'll
so
leave it
before
to that
before sending emails, just please, guys, all of you who are sharing emails now in chat, just try that link because we're not sending emails if that link works. It's too much. Someone please confirm if the link works. I know I tried it before and it worked with external. So if any of you downloads from this link, just let me know. Okay, it works. Yes, it is a Google Doc, but it should work.
Teresa is saying it doesn't work for her.
Okay,
Why?
okay. Okay, it works. It's a public link. Some of you have probably like privacy. You're working on company computers. Yeah, so you cannot download from Google. Some were able, some were not able. Okay, let's see. This is how we did it so far. Afe, please go on and I will see if I can put it somewhere in another drive or see how we handle this. And or take the email addresses and just attach it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, thank you very much, Christina. So welcome again, everyone, to RPA Summer School. So today, like we've been told from the agenda, we'll be looking at Microsoft Word automation and Excel automation. So the first thing we need to do is to ensure that the Excel add-in is installed on everybody's instance of StudioX. So join me to launch StudioX. Okay, and if you are there, you can go to Tools and ensure that you don't have any Excel file open, and just click on Excel add-in. So once you do that, you see this warning. Says this will close all open Excel workbooks. Save and close all your work before continuing. So just click on OK. And you should get this message that it's successful. Okay, so how many of us have our Excel add-in set and ready to go? So if you know you have that, can you state that on the chat? Can we all, for as many of us who have installed the Excel add-in, just put on the chat, done. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Adam, John Maria, Stacy. Wow, that's wonderful. Okay, so since we are good with that, let's go back to start. We're going to start a new project. So take your blank task as you've been taught in preceding sessions. We want to do a little thing. So since we're starting with word automation, let's name this my first word automation. Okay.
Sorry for interrupting. Can you go a bit back to the Excel add-in so we make sure that everyone managed to have the Excel add-in, because some are saying they do not see it.
Oh, okay. So I think that should be Suresh. Can you open StudioX? Ensure StudioX is open. So you can see mine on the screen, open already. So if you are there, so Suresh, if you're there, can you indicate that on the chat? Okay, then go to Tools. So on the vertical menu on your far left, you should see Tools. Then, so yeah, I'm going to explain. We just want to ensure all the resources we need for this session are done before we commence. So the reason why we are adding the Excel add-in is because this session also speaks about Excel automation. So we don't want to get there and start adding it. So let's get all our resources set and primed to go, okay? So tools, you should see Excel add-in. Yeah, you're welcome, Suya. And then click on the Excel add-in. You should get a message that says you should close all your Excel workbooks. So if you have any Excel workbook or file open, please do save them and close. Okay, Suraj says he has gotten that. Sorry, I don't know if you are he or she, but you understand what I mean to convey. Okay, so once you take that, you're going to click on OK. StudioX is going to perform its magic. You're going to get a installation successful message. Because I've done it before, you can see it's in repair successful because I have already added the add-in before. Okay, so I guess we are all on the same page now, right? Okay, so I'm going to continue now. So go back to your start. We're going to start a new project by clicking on blank task. And then because this is our first word automation, we're going to type the name, my first word automation. So this is the name I'm giving my stuff. So that's the name I'm giving it. Okay. So for the description, just say RPA Summer School Session 3. So I'm going to type this as the description. So I replace what is there, and then you can click on create. So while Studio X does its magic to get our canvas ready for us, let's go back to our presentation and see where we are. So we've been able to install our Excel add-in. We've also shared the download link for the exercise part on the chat. So if you know you've been able to download the exercise packs and you've been able to add or install your Excel add-in, and you have Studio X getting ready or already ready for us, can you just type ready to go or set to go on the chat so that I know we're on the same page? Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, so we have lots of people. Wow, that's nice. That's wonderful. So we are really set to go. So yes, Gomez, for description, we're saying just type in something like this: RPA Summer School Session 3. Okay, so let's proceed now. So what is word automation? Now, as a business user, and even in our private lives, we work with Word documents. But word automation in Studio X is about word templates. Take, for instance, you want to create a brochure or you want to create an invitation letter. Let's use the last one now. The invitation letter is going to be the same. So you want to invite 500 persons to an event, and you are responsible for sending out the typed invitation. There's the mail aspect, but you also want to send a hard copy. And since the invitation, the body of the letter is actually the same, what changes is the name of the person's address and stuff like that. But every other thing in the document is going to be the same. And you need to prepare this for 500 persons. Now, if you want to do that manually, it's going to take you some time because you need to do each one and save them like that and before you print them out. But with Studio X, we can automate that kind of process. So whenever we have any process that involves us using a word template, will at the end of the day give us the opportunity to have a few to a high number of documents from the same template, then Studio X is your best friend. You could easily automate such business processes or such tasks and save yourself some good time. And so Studio X Word Automation offers us a number of activities that we can use to automate the tasks that we usually perform when working with Word templates. So what can you automate? Like I said before, Word Automation basically involves the use of Word templates. And in these templates, you have placeholders for text, hyperlinks, images, tables, charts, and so on. And so when you have a template that you can use to prepare a number of Word documents, which may be saved in Word or exported as a PDF file, you can easily automate it using Studio X. And so a few examples of documents that involves the use of a template will be resumes, letters, brochures, reports, and so on. And now let's see how we can use this in Studio X. Now, this is just an image. I'm going to want every one of us now to move with me to Studio X and really see these activities that we have on the diagram on our screen. So we've been told in our last session that Studio X is so easy to use, and the activities that we need to make use of have been grouped into sections. So if we go to the Word tab, if you click on this, so if you know you can see your Word tab, can you type go on the chat so that I know that we're on the same page? If you can see your Word tab. Okay, thank you very much. So if you click on that, you'll see that it has filtered the resources and actions that you can use. And these are all the actions that we have there. Now, whenever you want to engage in Word automation, you need to start with a use Word file resource. The very first one you can see on your list of activities. And the tooltip there says, with this activity, you can open a Word document and provide a scope for other Word activities. meaning you need to drag this onto your canvas, and every other word activity you need to use for your automation will have to be inside this envelope called use word file. And apart from that, we could choose to replace pictures. That is part of what we'll be doing today. Replace pictures. Like I said, in a Word template, you could have a placeholder for a picture. So we could replace pictures as long as those pictures have an alt text. Then we can replace text. We could add pictures, as you can see here. We could append text to the end of a document. We could add hyperlinks. We could insert a table. We could insert a chart, and so on and so forth. So there's so much you can do. The last of it would include that you can save the document as another kind of file, like a .doc file or HTML file. You could even save it as a PDF file. So StudioX gives you so much you can do with word automation. And with that, we are going to move to our first demo exercise for the day. And if you've already downloaded your exercise pack, so I'm going to give a brief description of what we are trying to do with our first exercise. So we have a Word template called resume template.docx. And at the end of the day, we want something like the image you can see on your right. So which means we have data that we need to fix or insert into the various placeholders in the template file. So if you are with me and you've already downloaded the exercise pack, you should have something like this. So please take the next 10 seconds thereabout to unzip it. When you unzip it, you should have this kind of folder. So there are two folders inside. The first one is demo exercise 1, and the second one is 2 that we'll use for the next exercise, but we're interested with the first one. So if you are there, can you open your folder? When you open the demo exercise 1 folder, you would see 3 files. One is a picture with the name Flying Robot. Then we have the resume data, and then the resume template. So if you are there with me, can you type go on the chat so that I know that we're on the same page? Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Moses. Thank you, James. Thank you, Suresh. Okay, so let's continue. Now, once you open your project on StudioX, there is a short way or a means by which you can open the project folder. So if you look at your ribbon, the top ribbon just below, you can see this. Can you see projects? If you see projects, click on projects, you see open project folder. Okay, so click on that to open the project folder. So this project folder contains all the project files for your automation. Okay, so just for simplicity, we could have data anywhere, but just to make this simple, we're going to go back to the demo exercise 1 folder, and we're going to copy everything here and move them into our project folder. You could keep them anywhere on your PC, that's fine, it will also work, but this is just for simplicity's sake. So I'm going to create a new folder inside my project folder and call it data. Okay, call that data, and open data and copy all the files from your demo exercise 1. You can see me. I'm going to copy all of them. And I'm going to come here into the data folder. And I'm going to paste them. So let me reiterate. So we opened our project folder by going to StudioX, and on our ribbon, just below the title bar, we look for the project icon. If you click on it, it's a drop down, and you select Open Project Folder. The moment you do that, it opens. And inside the project folder, I created a new folder called Data. And I've copied all the files, the 3 of them, from my demo exercise 1 folder into the data folder. So if you are there, can you type ready on the chat? But if you are lost, just tell me so that I repeat again. Okay, thank you, VJ. Thank you, Justin, Kathy, Frances. Okay, so it means we're on the same page. Good to go. Wonderful. Now, let me explain what the files we have. The first one is an image, right? A flying robot image. This Word document is a template. In this template, this is the placeholder for the image. Then this profile details you see here, the name, the phone, the email, experience one details, and so on, are placeholders for text we want to replace. And the data we want to use to replace this text can be found in our resume data Excel file. Okay, now, if you look at this, you can see the name column tells us, let me maximize this. The name column, let me see if I can increase the zoom a bit. 150. Good. So the name column tells us the name of the image. The phone tells us the value we can use to replace for phone. Same goes for email, profile description. So each of these columns you can see in this document contain the data we want to use to replace in this Word template. Okay, so let's proceed. Just to make it easier for us, I'm going to leave this open down, and I'm going to also leave this open down so that we can see how we pick the data as we move from one point of the task to another. So if you're with me, the first thing, like I said, if you want to do word automation, is to use, to drag in your use word file resource, which is this one here. So I'm going to drag it to my canvas. Can you do that? Okay. So I'm going to uncheck this, and I'm going to leave this. Because the file exists, I'm going to uncheck this. But to save changes, of course, when we make changes to the document, we want the robots to be able to save those changes. So you leave this on, okay? And then we need to select the Word file. But remember now, I want to show you something. Remember now that this is only a template, and we want our template to remain in such a way that we can use it multiple times. So it means I can't indicate my template straight. So we need to make a copy of it. So there's something, an activity on Studio X that you can use to do that. So there's copy file. So search for copy file and drag it above your use word file. So if you're there, tell me so that I can continue. Type OK on the chat. If you have that, if you want me to repeat, just say it so that I can repeat again. Okay. So we've been able to drag a copy file activity. So we want to make a copy of that template. So the copy of the template file is what we will then use in our use word file. Good. Someone says I should repeat. Government. Okay. So I hope your Studio X application is open. The first thing we did was to make a copy. We want to make a copy of the template. Remember, we don't need to type anything into our template file. If we do that, it no longer remains a template file. We want to be able to use it again and again and again. As such, we need to make a copy of it. Studio X gives us the copy file action that we can use to make a copy of our template. So we have that there. Now, from means what's the source? We can click on this, go to our data, and click on the resume template and open it. So you can see it's selected there now. Data resume template.docx. Okay, can we all do that in 2 seconds before I continue? So just to repeat, let me clear the value. You click on this folder, this browse for file icon. go to where your template is, navigate there, select it, and click on open. So you can see that there now. Okay, so let's proceed. So we want to make a copy of it. I want to make a copy of it directly. So for those of us that are not that tech savvy, this is what you do. You mimic the file and use it as a means of being able to track the destination. So for me to do that, I'll go back to data, right click on my template, take copy. Then this is where I want the bot to copy. So I'm going to mimic that and take paste. And then rename this to whatever name I want to give it. Let's say I call it output and hit enter. So if you know you've done that, can you click on go on the chart? So what I've just done is to make a copy, manually make a copy of the template and put it into my project folder so that I can use that to serve as the destination. I will delete the file later, of course. Okay, so everybody's on the same page. So let's proceed. So I can come here, click on this browse for folder again. And of course, from this tree, you can see my project folder is already selected. I'm going to expand this and open it. Sorry. I'm going to expand this and I'm going to select this. This is a project folder. But this doesn't stop it. I need to click on text. If I go back to my project folder, sorry, let me go to my project folder. So this is the file. If I get the name of the file, I can come back to text and click my backslash, the name of the file, then .docx and save it. I'm going to repeat that again, clear this value. So what I want to do is copy this file from this location to this other location. And for me to do that, I can click on this to browse for the folder. This is the folder, of course, where my file is. So this helps you to be able to get the folder where you want the file to be dropped or copied to. So if it were somewhere else, this will not be project folder. If I were to copy it to a folder on the desktop, it will not show project folder. So this allows you to select that folder. But you know, you need to add the name of the file to that path. That is why we click on the plus button, click on text, and then we can add our slash, and then the name we want, and then add the extension .docx. Okay, if you are good to go, can you type OK on the, okay. Vocal is asking how to use an absolute path. Yeah, you could also choose to do this. This is the dummy file you want, wherever it is. You can choose to right click on it, take properties, go to security, and copy all of this. So let me copy this out and put on Notepad so that you see how it looks like. You could also choose to wrap. You can also choose to add this. It is okay. Does that answer your question? Okay. Yes, not said anything, but let's continue. Okay, so we have the path down, fine. So we've been able to do this. So let's just check whether this works for now. I'm going to delete this one here so that we have only the copy file. I'm going to take overwrite here. I'm going to go back to the project folder and delete the dummy I have. So I'm going to cancel this, go back to my project folder, delete this dummy. And then let's run this and see. If I run this, it's done. It says last run successful. So if I check here, you can see it has copied the file. So just to show you that this is real, I'm going to edit this. And instead of output, I can say, let's say this is for Adam's cane, and save this. So I need the file to be named Adam's cane. If I run this, it's going to run and it's done. If you check, you can see Adam's cane there. So if you know you are with me on this, can you type OK on the chat so that we proceed? Thank you, everyone. Okay, so it means we're on the same page. So since we've made a copy of the file, now we have something we can replace the images, the picture, insert text, and so on and so forth. So since we already have the file, that's nice. The next thing to do is to proceed with our word automation. So go to your Word tab and drag in your use word file resource underneath the copy file. Abdullah is saying I couldn't put project file. I don't seem to understand that. Please explain better so that Nidhi can attend to you. So for everyone else, once you are able to bring in your use word file resource, then we need to indicate that particular file. Remember, like I said, if you're not good with for Adam, something is missing on your, what is your file path? Adam, what do you have on in your tool? Let me see if I can zoom in. Adam, what do you have here for tool? Okay, you've gotten it. That's nice one. Okay, so for our use word file, I think it's nice for me to just zoom in so that everybody sees what I'm doing. Yeah. We need to indicate the file we want to use. You could come here, since this is the copy, the file that was copied, you could come here, click on text, Control A to select all, Control C to copy. You can cancel this because you don't want to change that. And come here, click on text, and paste this. This is one way to do this. So that the file path on top here matches the file path for the use word file. That is one way. But remember, we have Bookhart. What error are you having, please? Okay, while you state what your error is, Sunita is asking, how do we? Yes, Bookhart, you did not indicate a file path. So look at my copy file and check yours and see if you have a value either in your from field or your to field. Okay, can you check that and get back to us on the chat? So for Sunita, yeah, we can make this dynamic. Bokad is saying the part looks okay. So my question would be, this file, were you able to copy your resume template.docx into a folder called data? Can you check if it exists? Bokad, please respond. Nidhi will attend to you. So please ensure that this file exists in a folder called data within your project folder. This is mine. Can you see data folder? And this is the file. So it needs to exist. If not, okay. So you say the file is there. You're saying the file is there. Okay. So if the file is there and you've indicated that in your from field, what of your to field? Paulina, you need to connect your bot again to your automation cloud account. Same as mine. Bookhart, I am trying to figure out Why? Okay, someone is saying I should repeat the copy tag. So maybe that will solve everybody's problem.
Yeah, after just repeat it, and the rest, like whatever happens once or twice, let Needy or me handle it to see if we can solve it in the chat. If not, we'll solve it with instructions, and they can do it after the recording and afterwards.
Okay, so
Just
I'm going to
do that and see if
going to delete all of this. And
okay, start from
yeah,
scratch.
just to be okay. So I'm going to delete this folder as well. Now, this is what I did. Inside my project folder, how do I open the project folder? You click on project on the ribbon. Okay, click on open project folder. It opens. Inside this folder, I'll right click, go to new, and I will take folder. And I named it data. Then remember, we downloaded the exercise pack. I unzipped it, and inside what I have are two folders, demo exercise 1 and that of 2. I'm interested in number 1. So I come here and select all, copy everything there, go to data within my project folder and paste everything. Okay, so with this, when I want to copy, I search for copy file. That's the first action I place on my canvas. From where I'm going to click on the browse for file, and this is data, open it. This is the resume template, select it, click on open, and that's that. Now, this is where I guess some of us are having issues, the destination field, the tool field. So what you need to do here, wherever you want to put the file, I said to make it easy, you can copy that file into your project folder. So let's assume I have this, I've copied it here now. You can right click on it. So maybe this will make it easier for everyone. Right click on it, go to security and copy all of this. So Control C, and that's what I did here. That's why we have this here. So I can take this full path itself and indicate it here as a text. So paste this here. That's one way of doing it. So this name will be fixed. This is static. I will also show you how you can make it dynamic. Okay, Booker. So I think when you run this, your second activity should not be there. So can you run yours without the second activity, use word file, and see that you are okay? Okay. So with this, I can then decide to bring in my use word file. But before I do that, for a person who asks, how can we make the file name dynamic? So let's go to our Excel file. Let's assume we want to give it this name, Flying Robots. So I'm going to add this Excel file that holds this data. I'm doing it for one. So when you're doing it for multiple, it's going to be different. We'll get there, but let's go step by step. I'll only tell you how you can do it later for multiple data or sets of data. For now, we have data for just one person, one resume. So for me to do it, since I'm doing for one, all I need to do is to add this Word file, the Excel file, as a resource to my project. So if you look at this set of things on the right-hand side of your screen, you see properties, then you see data manager. So click on data manager, everyone. Click on data manager. If you go up just above the title bar of that pane, you will see this icon that looks like a folder and a plus at the lower right corner, connect to resource. If I click on that, you see connect to a new Excel file. I click on that. I have this folder button I can use to select. So I navigate to data, select resume data, open it. Do you want to save changes when the bot works on it? No, I want it read only. So I'm going to stop at this point and cancel what I've done and do it again. The first thing I did was to locate data manager and ensure the pin is the active one. Once Stacy is saying I don't have that on my screen, can you see properties? Stacy, do you have properties? If you select a card, can you see properties? Okay. Can you, if you can't see it right there, can you check maybe it's, yeah, thank you, Nidhi. So Stacy, when you select the activity, can you see data manager now? Gomet is saying no. Francis, no. If you can't see data manager at the bottom here, can you see it maybe on this? Wow, everyone is saying no. It should be on the side. If it's not down here, you should see it on the side. So if you see it on the side, just click on it. So how many of us have been able to see data manager? I can see only properties, not data manager. Some of us can and some of us cannot. Still same. Okay, so even when you select the card, it's not there. Okay, so okay, Nidhi, can you help us research a way of getting it out for those who can find it? I've never had that challenge before.
Sure. You can continue further. I'll look at this.
Okay, thank you very much. So for our data manager, once you have it there, ensure it is active and that the title bar here says data manager. Don't worry, folks. Nidhi is going to help us with that information shortly. So for those of us who can see data manager, let's proceed. So for those of us who don't, just look at what we're doing so that by the moment you're able to locate yours, then you can proceed with us. So for data manager, once it is active, go to the top, just below the title bar. You should see a folder with a plus at the lower right corner. Okay, the name, the tooltip says the name is connect to resource. I click on that, I'm going to see connect to a new Excel file. If you click on that, it's going to open manage resource dialog and you can select the Excel file. Once I click on that, I can navigate to where the Excel file is, which in this case is in data folder inside my project folder. Okay, so someone is saying, so I hope you're connected to your Automation Cloud account. Please do that. Moses, you may be correct. Okay, select the Excel file. So Stacy has seen it. Good one, Stacy. Okay, so for those of us who have been able to see our data manager, are you on, can you see this dialog? Are you there with me? Are you there with me? Okay, so once you select that, we don't want to save changes to it. It's just a data store for us as far as this project is concerned. And so what we need to do is to uncheck save changes and check read only. We just want our robot to read from the file. That's just it. We're not making any changes to the file, so there's no need to save changes. Okay? Yeah, thank you, Nidhi, for that. and then click on OK. So once you do that, you can see it is added as a resource to your project. Okay, so which means we can get our bot to extract information from the file at any point in our automation. So if you know you've been able to add that file as a resource, can you click on can you type OK on the chat so that I know we are on the same page? Good one, nice one, nice one. Okay, so we have that already. So for the person, I think that should be Sunita, who asked, how can we make it dynamic? It means here is the, instead of me clicking on, please follow from this point. Very important that you follow. Instead of me clicking on the plus button, then text and typing this here, if I don't want output to be the name or Adam's cane or whatever name you've chosen for yours, and I want the name to be what is inside cell A2 here. It's very easy. So what I will need to do is to remove the name I've put there before, then click on this plus button. Can you see resume data now here as a resource? Can you see that? Then I'll take indicate in Excel. The moment I do that, the Excel file opens, and I can click on the cell that has the name or the data or info I want to use. And then I'll click on the confirm button. And you see it puts, StudioX does the magic and puts the value there. So with this, when the bot gets to this stage of the automation, it's going to go to that Excel file, grab the text inside that cell, and use that as the name. So I'm going to do this again. For those of us who did not follow, we want to use a value from the resource sheet as the name for our new Word file. The file we're copying from our template. Okay, so I'm going to click on this plus button. Brenda, please follow me. I'm back here. Let's assume we don't want to use output.docx. So I'm going to click on text. I'll remove all of this. Then you see this plus button here. Because we've been able to add that file as a resource, you see it when you click on the plus button. And then you see resume data. If I select that, I can take the option indicate in Excel. So this makes StudioX open up the file, and I can select the cell that has the data I need and click on confirm. So it's put it there. But this is where people will make a mistake. So I hope for those of us who were here before, you've not made that mistake. Yes, Suya, take yes so that you can install or attempt to repair it. Just take yes, it should solve the issue. Okay, nice one. So this is only the text from the file. But if you look at our Excel file, there is no extension here. So which means it's up to us to add the extension .docx. So please ensure you did that before clicking on save. So for those of us who clicked on save without adding the extension, you can click on your plus button again and click on text and do it. Yes, Suya, from your set of extensions, can you see CS, select Excel? Okay. Suya, I don't understand when you say this is a long message box. So can you be more explicit?
Afi, I'll take care of this. You can continue further.
Thank you very much.
Please continue, Afi.
Okay, so we have this. Just to see if this works, let's run and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to close all the Excel files. that are open. I was using that to explain. So it's done. If you go back here, you see flying robots. Can you see? So how many of us have been able to do that? If yours worked, can you type OK on the chat? If yours worked, okay, Kati, thank you, VJ, Cristiano, nice, nice. Just the three of you. Who else? How do you run it? If you've been able to set it up, you should see a green button, run, on your ribbon. Can you see that, Francis? Thank you, MPE. Thank you, Paras. Ran, thank you. Francis, can you see that? That is how you run your bot. Francis, can you see the ribbon on Studio X? Okay. I think we need to, she says no. How? Are you sure you're on your Studio X profile? Please confirm you're on Studio X profile, that when you look at your title bar, you can see UiPath Studio X community. If you are not on that profile, you won't see this button the way it looks on mine. Okay, let me continue so that we've taken too much time already. So since we have this done, the next thing we need to do is to use our Word file. So drag your use Word file there, okay? Drag that and just go back here to your copy file and copy what is there. So I'm going to click on that, Control A, Control C, then cancel this so that I don't change anything there. And I can come down here, text, and paste this. Wow, Stacy, there must be some, will I say, privacy issues or security issues with your Office installation. Okay, for those of us who are with me, can you click on save? If you have that, can you uncheck create if not exist and leave the save changes? So if you are with me, can you type OK on the chat? Let me see how many of us are here, because it's going to get we're going to get our hands dirty now. Okay, so far. Thank you, VJ. So at this point, since we have the file, remember, look at our template. We want to be able to replace the picture, replace all these other placeholders. So let's start with the picture. So the first set of tasks we want to do is replace the picture, replace the profile details, replace name, replace phone, replace email. So to do that, let's group all those set of actions together. So sometimes to make your work look well organized, you can use the action called group. So if you type group here under activities, you're going to see group. So drag that group in here, okay? And you can click on properties, and let's say we name this personal info. Just for fun, let's put that there. You can have a better name. If you have a better name, you can use that. So in here, we want to be able to put in, insert the picture, insert things about the profile description, the name, the phone number, and the email address. Then in another group, drag another one in here. Remember, it must be inside the use Word file container. So if you collapse your use Word file and you can see your groups, then it means yours is outside. So you need to correct that. The two group activities I've used so far are inside my use Word file resource container. So let me expand this again. So this one, I'm going to change this and say, put all the experience here, experience, all the information about experience here. Okay. And then a third one, remember from our templates, we have something about education. So I'm going to take this here, and this, I will name this education info. So I think we are set to do business now. Okay, if you are with me, can you type go on the chat so that I proceed? Thank you. So how do we add a picture or change a picture or replace a placeholder with a picture? If you go to your word activities, you're going to see replace picture right here. And for that to work, the placeholder in your template must have an alt text. Why? Why are we so emphatic about the alt text property? We're going to see now. So the first thing we do, let's drag this replace picture into our personal info group. Can you see that the first property you need to set says find pictures with alt text? So it means if I have a placeholder in my Word template that does not have the alt text defined, the bot will not be able to get that placeholder to replace it with the picture you want. So if you check our template, you can see this is the placeholder. If I right click on it, can you all right click on yours? Right click. Can you see edit alt text? You click on that, can you see the alt text there? So just copy it, Control A, Control C. You can see if I paste it here, you see I've copied it. So make sure you copy it. That is what you're going to use inside Studio. So for me to add that to Studio, click on the plus button, click on text, and then paste this. Then save it. So if yours is looking like mine, can you type OK on the chat? So let's see those we need to repeat this for. Oh, everyone is on board. Appears. Okay, just 2 persons yet. Okay, nice one, guys. That's nice. Okay, so what picture do we want to replace it with? What picture do we want to replace with? If you check the data we downloaded and we copied into our data folder, you can see flying robots. You can see flying robot there. So I only need to come back to Studio, click on Browse for File, go to that data folder, and select the flying robot. So Studio X will automatically put the file path there for me. And that is done. Okay? So we've been able to replace the picture. Now, how do we replace the name or profile details, for example? How do we replace the profile details? So let's see how we do that. We're going to use replace text in documents. To drag that in under your replace picture, it says search for what? So you need to indicate the placeholder text the bot should search for within the file. In this case, if you check our Word document, you see it is profile details. So I'm going to copy all of this. Make sure you copy don't copy the spaces there. Ensure it's just profile details. Just profile details. So I'm going to copy that, Control C, go back to Studio X and indicate that. Click on text, paste this to indicate this as what the bot should search for within the file. So what do I want to replace it with? Remember, I've already added that Excel file as a resource to the project. So I'm going to click on this plus, select the resource, and take indicate in Excel. It's going to open this Excel file for me. I can click on this cell that contains the profile description, and I'll click on confirm. So who is with me at this point? because we're going to run this now and see whether, okay, so let's all run it together. Let's all run it together and see. So you can see it doing that. It's done. If I go to the file, remember we are working on flying robots. You can see it has been able to replace this. Is that not awesome? So if you know yours is looking like this, can you type go on the chat? It appears we are still running out. Or Peter, you missed the profile. Okay, so I'm going to show you mine. Check whether your activity looks like mine. This is my replace. Let's call this profile. So this is my profile description. Is yours looking like this? Just two people are with me. Okay. Ashada, did you run yours? So Peter, are you good now? Only 5 people are with me. Wow. Why? Where are we having the problem? Okay, VJ is with us now. Teresa is with us now. That's nice. So yours should look like this. Should look like this for now. We are yet to make changes to the name and the other ones. Okay, thank you, Peter. So I'm going to close this and let's continue. Remember, we're working with, sorry, I shouldn't have closed that. We're working with this template. Nice. So we want to replace the name and this. So let's see whether you can do yours without looking at mine. So I'll be doing mine, you'll be doing yours, and then we can compare our activities when we are done. So our time starts now. I'm going to take name, copy this as a text to replace. Before I do that, instead of dragging my replace text in document again and again and again, I'm not going to select this guy, right click on it, take copy, then go to the plus button after it, right click, yeah, I think you have a security issue, Heidi. If you're using your official laptop or machine, I think that is why you have that. Okay, like I was saying, I'm going to copy this activity I already have. Copy, go to the plus button, right click on it and take paste. So this, I want to replace the name. So what am I searching for? I want the bot to search for this name here, copy. And then I'm going to change this text, replace what is there. So it should, the bot should search for name. And I will indicate in my resource, indicate in Excel, the cell that has the name information and click on OK. So once I do that, it should be settled here. Then I want to do the same thing for phone and email, phone and email. So I'm going to copy this and paste it twice. Right click on the plus after it, paste, and another one. You have to be careful here so you don't repeat it twice. So I've done profile description. This is name. I want to do the phone number. So I'll just call this phone. And this will be email. Change the display name. So with this, I can track what I've changed and what I've not changed. So I'm here to change that of phone. So I'm going to go back here and select this 1, 2, 3 up to 8. That is what, copy it. That is what I want the bot to replace. So click on the plus button, go to text, remove what is there, paste this and save it. Then I need to indicate in my resource Excel file, the cell that holds the data for phone, and click on OK, and it's done. So I go to that of email now, copy the placeholder text for email, which is this contact@yourdomain.com. Ensure you copy it alone and not the spaces before or after. Very important. So copy that and then go back to Studio and say for email, search for this text. So click on text, remove what is there, paste the placeholder text from the template, and then indicate in your resource Excel file the cell that holds that information. Click on it and click confirm. So at this point, we've been able to replace all of this. Okay. Yeah, VJ is saying mail merge in steroids. Yeah, that is what Studio X can do for you. You can see it's cool, right? Okay, so if you run yours, for those of us who finished the forming, if you run yours, Abdullah, what's the issue? When you run yours, okay, sorry, I need to close those files. Sorry. So close this guy. Let's close this guy.
Afe, can you explain to them why you did that? Why you closed the source files?
Yeah, when I try running, I'm getting an error from the bot. And so just to ensure that I'm on the same page, just close the file so that the bot can open them by itself.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. So
So that helps.
Afe close the template and the source file so that the bot can start operating, extracting and operating the files by himself.
Yeah. Okay, so I've just run mine. And so when you open Flying Robots, I'm going to see this. Is it all cool? So I'm going to give you an example just of experience 1 and education 1, and you guys can complete it later on your spare time. And that would be great. We'd like to get the news of as many of us who are able to do that. So I'll just do that of experience 1 and education 1, and then you guys can finish up the rest later to spare time. But sometimes when you are doing this, you need to apply a little tactic or logic. For instance, remember how this works is that we give the bot a placeholder text in the template and say, if you go look for ABC, when you find it, wherever you find it, replace it with XYZ. Cool. But look at this now. We want to replace experience 1 and also replace experience 1 details. So there's going to be some sort of confusion. If we do experience 1, if the bot has to do experience 1, it's going to make 2 replacements. And by the time it needs to do experience 1 details, there will be nothing to replace. So the logic here means we need to tell the bot to replace text for experience 1 details first. So by the time it is done with experience 1 details, then there will be no confusion when you ask it to do replace text for experience 1. I don't know if that's clear. So I'm going to try to say it again as I do it on Studio. So now, this is it. We have experience 1 here, right here. And we also have it as part of this other placeholder text. And if you look at Studio here, you only see for your replace, and you see for this, replace all. So if you do replacements for experience 1 before experience 1 details, you're going to run into a problem, because when the bot is done with experience 1, you won't have experience 1 details anymore in the template or in the file. So the best thing to do is, or the trick would be to replace text for experience 1 details first, and then ask the bot to do the next step would be for experience 1. So let's do that quickly. We're out of time. So I can collapse all of this. This group is done. This group for personal info is done. So let's go to that of experience now. So let's drag in again our replace text. we want to do experience one details first. So just so we don't get confused, I'm going to rename the display, change the display name to experience details. Sorry, experience one details. Okay, so I don't get confused. Okay, then I'll copy this. I've not done it. I've not completed defining its properties. I'm going to copy that. Then right click on the plus button after, paste, and this tracking just experience one. So experience one details should be done first before experience one. Please take good note of that. Very, very important. Now, what are we searching for experience one details? So copy this placeholder text, go back to Studio, go back to the activity, and click on the plus button for text that it should search for, paste that there. And where do we get the value? Of course, from our resource, indicate in Excel. And when it opens, this is experience one details, confirm, and we are good there. So we do something similar for experience one, copy the placeholder text, go back to Studio to search for, indicate that you copied, paste, and save it. And then we indicate from our resource in the Excel file what experience one information is about. So we've done that, quite easy. You could copy these two for experience 2 and 3 and replace them on your spare time. And then we'll go to education info. I'm going to take these two, copy this, right click inside this group, paste, and quickly name this to education one details, and go to the file, copy the placeholder text for education one details, go back to Studio so that I can indicate that placeholder text, remove what was there before, paste the new guy, and we okay that. So what are we replacing it with? Go to our resource, indicate it. If we scroll to the left, this is education one. Okay, so I take that and confirm it. And then I can copy this same guy, copy, and paste it under immediately. And this will be just for education one. So I go back to my file, copy the placeholder text, and then indicate it here, remove what was there before, paste this, and okay this, and quickly indicate from my Excel file what education one is all about. Once I've been able to do that, I am good. So you could do this for as many placeholder text you have in the document, and with this method, generate as many documents from a template with ease and without sweat. So let's see whether what I've done so far works. So I'm going to close my templates and resource files. And just so we are able to get it from the beginning, I'll delete both, delete the flying robot Word file. And then we just run this guy from the beginning again. And it should do all the magic. And it's done. So if I check the file generated, you can see that the image has been replaced, profile description, name, phone, email, experience one, and experience one details, also education one and the education one details. Awesome, right? So if you know you are at this point, can you type okay on the chat so that I know that we are on point? Nice one. Thank you everyone. So it's wonderful that we're following so far. Yeah, thank you. So you guys can complete the rest at your spare time, and taking too much time already for
Yeah.
work, but something is that at least we have some of us following up to this one, right?
Yeah.
So
After
Christina,
the great. Yeah.
I think we should do the Menti quiz now, right?
I think at least first of all, I want to say that it was great. You slow paced and we took the steps so many times to make sure everyone understands and most of them are able to do it. For the ones who were unable to follow along, just remember it's just as important to watch it being done, and then the second time when you will try to do from the recording, attended by the recording, which you will have tomorrow, it will be much easier. So don't fright. It will be okay. I think we can move on to Menti quiz 1 now, since we have very little time left. And then for the Excel part, I don't know, do you think you can do just a demo in 10 minutes, Afe, without them following along, just to see the exercise?
Yeah, I can do that, and then you can watch the video and try to.
Okay, so for the demo, for the Excel demo, guys, it will be just a demo. Afe will perform it. Then you will be able to do it after the recording. So we will not stop along. You will need to pay attention to participate until the end in the quiz, so you will be able to follow the steps and see the features used and what you can use from Studio X with Excel. Now we're going to Menti to have a bit of fun from this whole part of word automation that you just saw Afe teaching over here. You should know the answer since it was quite detailed. So go to menti.com, guys, and yeah. Afe just pasted the code there. We're going to wait for you to get in the quiz. Come on, let's see all of you gathering. I know it's been hard, so now let's have some fun. This is time to relax and watch caterpillars and tigers and strawberries. Okay, so we're up to 32. We're 95 now in the session. Let's see how much out of the 95 people want to join the Menti quiz. Okay. We'll stop when the number stops growing. So if no one else wants to join, but you can still go to menti.com and just type in 72065510. I see Nidhi has been feeding you a lot of resources in the chat to go for help. Just remember, we will also be giving you the forum link, and on forum you can ask help for any problem you have on Studio X. So you'll also be getting a lot of help there if you go on forum, and as you advance in Studio X, you will find that helpful, like going through the subjects on forum on Studio X and see different questions addressed. Okay, we're up to 51 and I see it stopped growing. Actually, it's going back to 50. Okay, so
Okay.
Afe, I think we can start now. I don't know why. Oh, it's back. The volcano came back. Good. So guys, remember, pay attention to the question. What Studio X action do we use to insert pictures into a Word document? Is it append text, add picture, hocus pocus, or replace picture? Answer fast to get more points, guys.
Fastest finger.
So to insert picture in a Word document, what do we use in Studio X? Append, add, hocus pocus, or replace? Okay, so Afe, what do you think about these results?
I think people, some folks were deceived by this replace. I think the picture thing there, but they'll get used to it when they watch the video again. So let's see the leaderboard.
Yeah, let's see the leaderboard and see who is who has the pole position, who is our best candidate for a winner. But of course, we will have the winner only after the second question. So Neil with 966 points. Okay, Neil, let's see if you keep that position till the end. Congrats for now. Thank you for joining, guys. And now let's watch a quick demo of Excel automation. So
Okay.
very quick.
Okay. So sorry for taking your time, everyone. So for Excel automation, Excel is one tool that every business user makes use of in their day-to-day work. Some of us even use it for in our personal life. And once we talk about Excel automation in Studio X, we're referring to automation connected or related to your Excel files. So with Studio X, you can build automation projects that involves you using various types of data from an Excel file. You could create reports and stuff like that. So what can you automate? You can create reports, you can read data, write data, you can sort data, you can check reports for errors, and special mention will be deleting duplicate data. You could have data in an Excel sheet that you want to use to fill a form on a web page, and you can automate that. Your bot can take all that data row by row and fill in those forms. You could also run macros. So Excel automation is so wonderful, and it's a skill that everyone must have as a citizen developer, because in combination with other types of automation, you could create very complex and mind-blowing automation projects. For instance, in the Word example we just did, we're just creating one resume. What if you were to create that using multiple templates for 500 persons? You could combine your Excel automation skills with Word, and you do that. Same goes for email automation. You have an invitation you want to send to 1,000 persons, and in the same mail template you want to use. How can you combine Excel automation, Word automation, and email automation for you to be able to send out those email invites? So this is a skill that everyone should have. And like for Word automation, whenever you want to start a project or you have a project that involves Excel automation, you must start with your use Excel file resource. So while I'm talking about all of that, I'm going to close this. And for those of us that will watch this video later, you start your Studio X. We're going to use the exercise files for demo 2, the one we downloaded. So while this kicks off, we're going to start a blank and just call this simple Excel automation. Okay, and just put RPA Summer School there, session 3, and we click on create. Okay, now as usual, it's going to open. So while it opens, I will need to look at what files do we have, what files are we working with, what is the use case we are trying to demo in this session. So quickly, I'm going to talk about a few of the activities that we can make use of. It's very important. A case in point now would be, let me show you straight from Studio. I think it's better that way. Just like we have the Word files categorized into the Word tab, we also have that we can use for Excel categorized into the Excel tab. So there are lots and lots of Excel activities that Studio X has ready and primed for you to use. For example, you could do stuff like organize the file by deleting and inserting columns. You can see them here. You could format cells or tables. You could add or filter. You could work with formulas and even macros. You could insert a sheet, rows, and so on and so forth. So without wasting time, let's look at our use case. Let's look at our use case. So common actions you can do with Excel, you can insert sheets or column or rows, you could delete sheets, column or rows, you could copy and paste a range, you could sort a range, you could filter. And for those of us who are Excel champions, we even have a dedicated VLOOKUP activity that you can use for VLOOKUP. And the common actions are when you have a set of data, and for each row of information, you need to perform a set of actions. So like we did in the Word document just now, that for a template, you need to do some replacement. So when you have an Excel file and you have a set of data, and for each row of data, there's a set of information, set of actions you need to take, you can automate such a process and save yourself considerable amounts of time. So let's really consider a use case now. Imagine each week you download a report that depicts entries for each day of the previous week, and that for each day's set of entries, there is a total price column having values stated in multiple currencies. And your task is to get the USD equivalent of each total price value as well as the ground total price. Now, there are a couple of challenges here that we're trying to solve. In the first place, this file has multiple sheets that you need to process the data in each sheet the same way. And now, the amount of information or the amount of data in each sheet varies from day to day. So there's no way of actually knowing, specifying statically that this is the last row in the sheet because the data changes. At the same time, the price values are set in multiple currencies, and the currency code is part of the price column. So how do we handle all of this? So go back to Studio, we start. I'll open my project folder like we discussed before, and go to what I downloaded. This is demo exercise 2. And just for simplicity's sake, just create data folder and move these 2 files, copy them into my data folder. So let me explain what's happening here. So here for opportunities, this is the downloaded file. And let me close all of this, okay? You see that we have Monday, Tuesday, just like that. And you can observe that the amount of data for each day is not the same. And if you look at the total price column, we've highlighted them with color so that you know what we are focusing on. Various currencies here, and the currency is part of the amount. But we want to get the total price in USD equivalent. And we have a resource sheet that has those conversion rates. This is the guy. So what do we do? Let's get down to business. First thing first, like we said, since we are using a resource file, we need to go to Data Manager and add that resource file. So I'm going to click on this, navigate to, this is simple Excel, this is data, this is my conversion rates file. Select that, give it the name conversion rates. I only need to read from it, okay that. Now we said that you must start with a use Excel file resource. I'm going to drag that in. I'm going to save changes, of course, and indicate the Excel file. So it's right here in data, opportunities. And once I do that, the first thing I need to do is for each sheet, we need to do a set of things for each sheet. Then inside each sheet, we need to pick these values. So I will start with for each Excel sheet activity. So let's look for it here. This is for each Excel sheet, and it says repeat actions for each sheet in an Excel workbook. So I'm going to quickly drag this here. Okay. Now, inside this, if I'm on a sheet, what do I need to do? Go back to the Excel. Let's look at it again so that we're on the same page. I need to get all these values. And for each of these values under total price, I need to get the USD equivalent. If it's a euro amount, then I need to use the conversion value for euros. So how do we do that? It means the first set of things I need to do will be to convert to USD. So for all that set, I get a group and add it here and call this convert to USD. And after I've been able to do that, the next thing to do is to get the total amount for that particular sheet. So I add another group and say get total amount. Okay. So when I'm on a sheet, how do I get the values in USD? I need to iterate through these rules. So the next thing I need to do is to get a for each rule. Okay, this is for each Excel rule. So for each Excel rule, let's see now. Remember, I have indicated my opportunities.xls as the sheet here, or the file. And for each sheet, this is going to name each sheet now. At every time it's working on a sheet, that would be the current sheet, right? And let's assume I'm going to reference this as opportunities. Okay. And for each Excel rule, it says, what is the range I need to indicate? I need to indicate this range, this whole range, because this is my work area as far as I'm concerned. So I need to tell the board that this is where I need you to work on, okay? And so what I need to do is to indicate the range here. The moment you click, because StudioS has a deep integration with Excel, the moment I click on this, I will see opportunities, see Monday sheets, right? Now, I can take indicate in Excel, go to Monday. Let me use Monday as a starting point and select the whole of this, and then click confirm. You see what automatically StudioX puts there. Now remember, this information has headers. So I'm going to indicate has headers because I need to track some things with that. Now, for each of these rules, I need to get this value. Well, how do I get the bot to know what currency code is in that rule? We have a very wonderful activity that can help us to do that. It is called text to right or left. If I search for that, you can see this. I'll drag it inside here. So I can indicate the full text. So since I'm looping through the rules, we can click here and say for the current rule, pick the value under total price. Then what's going to be my separator? What do I need here? Look at this value carefully. There is the currency code and a space before the amount. So of course, I will indicate my separator as a space. So go to text and just type an empty space. Ensure it is just one empty space. You can see it's just one there. Then text to left, I want to save this value in a variable. So I'm going to come back here and say text to left, save for later use. So a variable is like a container in memory where you can store values and use them in your automation. So click on that, and I'm going to call this currency code and save this. And the one for the right, I can just leave it as text to right. I don't need it, but just text to right. Good. So at this point, as it loops through each row in the sheet, it's able to get the currency code. But when I get the currency code, what will I use that to do? The bot needs to know the currency code so it can go to the conversion file and get the conversion rate. So for me to be able to, for the bot to know what conversion rate to use at any point in time, I will need a switch activity. So the switch activity allows me to provide cases or scenarios that are possible and what the bot should do in response to any situation that falls within those group of scenarios. So I'm going to drag this here. And what is the expression? What am I testing? Is the currency code. So once you get the currency code, match it against this defined set of scenarios. So I'm going to come down here and take use saved value, currency code, and add a new case. The first case I want to treat is USD. Remember, it can be USD, or let's check our project folder quickly and see the possibilities. So there's USD, there's euros, there's Japanese yen, and the Indian rupees. So let's go with that flow quickly. So case one, add another case, and this will be this. Add another case, and this will be for rupees, and add another case for the Japanese yen. Okay, so what should the bot do for each of these cases? We need to write sell. If it's able to get the value here, you should write something on the corresponding total price USD column. So I'm going to go back here and look for a write sell. This is it. Drag it here. And what am I writing? So there's a formula now. I need to multiply the amount with the conversion rate. I need to multiply these amounts with the conversion rate for euro, for instance. So I'm going to come here and put a formula. For you to be able to put in a formula, choose number, not text. Some people miss it here, so be very careful. If I need to do the calculation, choose number. I take that. What do I want to multiply? The current value of the total price in the current row the bot is on. So I'm going to click on the plus button, current row, and take total price. And I use an asterisk for multiplication. I'm going to multiply it by the conversion rate for my resource conversion rates. Go there, USD to USD, pick it, and then save this. Then for where to write, I need to write it to the corresponding total price USD sheet. So how do I indicate that? Current row, total price. So I just copy this and paste here and make the change to the calculation. So go back to number, remove this USD to USD, and go back to my conversion rate and take euro to USD, save this. Then come to paste again, that same activity, the right cell, modify the formula, go to number, remove what is there. We are dealing with rupees now. So we're going to come down here and choose this. And last but not the least, for Japanese yen, we're going to paste this and we're going to go to number, remove that, choose the conversion rate for Japanese yen, and we'll do that. Okay. Now, we've solved all of that. At this point in time, the bot should be able to get all the values needed here. Okay, so we can just run that and see. Remember, because we did the automation using Monday's values, the values for Monday, is only going to work on Monday, even though there are 5 sheets here. So let's quickly just check that what we have so far works. So let's close these two, close all the resource, all the files, and then so it is done. Let's check the file and see opportunities. It only worked for Monday. If I check Tuesday, nothing is there. So the issue now, how do we make this dynamic? How do we, Christina, how many minutes do I have more?
Not very much. You can like take 5 at most.
Okay, okay. So sorry guys for this. We have to rush through what is left. So the first thing is, for me, if you look at this file very well, you can see that each set of data, the data I'm interested in, only starts on row 9. Check row 9, same thing here, same thing here. But what I don't know is the last row. But beautifully enough, Studio X gives me the opportunity to know the last row in an Excel sheet. So I need to get that row. So when I'm indicating the region or the range of cells that the bot should focus on, I should be able to specify the actual last row in the sheet, irrespective of where that last row is. So I'm going to go to this convert to USD group, and there's something I need to create right there first. So look for the activity, find first find first last data row. I'm going to drag this here. And what is going to be my source? Of course, the source is going to be the current sheet. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to consider headers here because I'm looking at the whole from a wholesome point of view, the entire data of the sheet, irrespective where it starts. So it's going to start from row 1 up to 33 for the case of Thursday. So I'll take the entire sheet and indicate no headers. And what cell am I or column am I interested in? I have discovered from what I've done so far that my work is totally based on column H. So I'm going to go here, go to text and type H there as a column of interest. And what do I want to save the first rule as? I'll save it as a variable. So save for later use. I'll call it first data row. Okay, this. And the last one, save for later use again. And call this last data row. So with this, the bot, whenever it gets to any sheet, is able to know what's the first row and what's the last row. But this is not just done. I go to properties. The region of interest always starts from the 9th row. So I tell the bot to skip the first 8 rows so that it can concentrate from row 9 downwards. So I come down here, go to properties and say blank rows to skip 8. So we finish setting that up. Now, the next thing we need to do is to indicate the range. Remember, this is still static because it points to Monday. So I need to change this. I need to clear the value there and re-indicate it based to make it dynamic. So I'm going to click on the plus button, go to current sheets and take custom input and select range. So what is going to be my range address? It's always going to start from B9. If you check every day, the account name is always on B9. Where I don't know is the last cell on column J. So that is where our variables come to play. So I'll click on this and take text. So start from B9, column J. Remember in Excel, for those of us who are Excel champions, we'll say B9, 9 column. For Wednesday, that would be J19. J19. But 19 this is not fixed. So this is where I'm going to put in my placeholder or the variable I've been able to calculate or the bot is able to get from the last row. So go back to Studio. So we are indicating something here now. So B9, and then we can use our saved value, last data row. So if you look at this and compare to this, you see what we've just done. So this is what the Studio S is going to use to track the very last row in the sheet. So we save that, and this has changed. The next thing we need to do to sort this out is the total amount aspect. When the bot has been able to get the total amount, at this point, let me run, so I'm not so confused, let me run it at this point. Let's see whether it's able to work on all the sheets.
Afe, our audience says you made the spelling mistake. You typed BJ instead of B9. Make sure you have that typed correctly so when the bot runs, doesn't make a mistake when the range.
Okay, sorry, thank you for that. Let me see. Current sheets, custom inputs, range. Oh, yeah, thank you very much. I was just in a hurry. B9, yeah. Save. I think we can close the sheet now and run.
Well, I think many of us saw it. They're saying that RJ had quick eyes. Many of us saw it. Some of us were just waiting for the robot to stumble.
And I was saying B9, I was typing something else. Okay, it's done. It's done. Let's see. So you can see it's able to do the calculations for all these guys now, right? So Christina, please, just 3 more minutes. Let me complete the total amount, please.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, we are done with this first set of actions to convert to USD. So what we are now interested in is to get the total amount on each sheet. Very important. For us to do that, we need the bot, when it's done with calculating all these guys, just come to the first empty cell here and put in the value, type in a sum, a calculation or formula or something. But how will the bot get to know the first empty cell? Remember, it's been able to track the last data row. So it means the first empty cell, the row where the first empty cell is going to be, will be the last data row plus 1. Does that make any sense? So the first thing we're going to do here is to use what we'll call assign save for later use. Let's create a variable, save for later use, drag it into this point. And the name we want to call this is first empty row, okay? And it's a calculation we want to do. So choose number, and that will be the last data row plus 1. Okay, so with this, we can now write cell. So let's get the right cell. So what do we want to write in the cell? Of course, we want to write a formula for text. And you know, if we are doing it manually, we would have written something like sum of, we know that for each sheet, the sum will always start from J10, but we don't know where it will end. So it will be J10 colon J something, and that is something we don't know. So go to Studio and type equals to sum J10 colon J, and we know that it's already saved in our last data row. And then bracket close, don't forget that, and that's the formula. So where is it going to write this? We're going to indicate now on the current sheet, custom input is a cell, and we click on the plus to indicate the cell address. The cell address will be J, and that value we just saved, first empty row. Save, and we are good. So with this, we expect that the bot is able to do the calculations. So let's close this and run and see if we are good to go.
Okay, I think this is the final and complete run of the robot, no?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So guys, this should bring us to the final solution to this exercise. I will also put in the email tomorrow the solution to the exercise pack. So besides the recording, you will also have the solution. You will have 2 sources to make this exercise from.
So we are done. If you check,
let's check the robot.
You can see for Monday, this is the sum here. It was able to type in the formula. For Tuesday, it did the same thing. For Wednesday, it did the same thing. Thursday, the same thing. Friday, the same thing. So what we've been able to do, we have been able to solve all these challenges we indicated on our chart. The multiple files with same processing, last row of data that changes, and so on and so forth. So at this point, we'll move to our second Menti quiz. So can we quickly do that?
Okay, guys, if you paid attention through the Excel demo, go to menti.com. Again, the code is like 720655, 72065510. So just placing code and try to gather there. Afe, if you can go to next slide and see who gathers for the next questions in Menti. We still have 61 participants in the session. Let's see how much gather in the Menti quiz. And let's see what knowledge has been added. Okay, so we have like 35
36,
guys.
35.
35. Anyone else wants to join on menti.com? with the code, which is in the Zoom chat now, 72065510. Okay, we're up to 38. We'll be waiting a bit more to see if anyone else wants to join. If you watched us for the last almost 2 hours, I think it's worth joining. Go on, yeah, go, yes. Let's see who the fastest is now. Okay, so I see we're stuck at 39, so probably this is okay, up to 40. Okay, we'll start the quiz now. So for the second question from the exercise, answer fast. What action do we use to repeat one or more activities for each individual row in an Excel sheet? Repeat action for each row, for each sheet, copy range. Answer fast, guys, to get more points. So we want to repeat one or more activities for each individual row in an Excel sheet. Okay, that was definitely easier than the first one.
Yeah. So let's see the leaderboard now.
Okay.
Let's see if Neil can still be there. Wow. It's still there. In fact, 1, 2, 3 as just wow.
No.
There's a swap.
It's a tie. Okay,
and
no
double
problem.
A.
We have 2 winners if it's a tie. I don't have like a question to break the tie. And I don't think we should do it. I think it's very nice that we have a tie between Sveta and AA. Congrats, both of you. Please drop your emails in chat now, both of you, so I can take your emails and give you an email tomorrow with a voucher. So Sveta and the A, please write, yeah, congrats, guys. Just drop your emails in the chat, please.
Okay,
if you don't drop your emails, I won't have an email to send a voucher to. Okay, and we'll continue now. I think you can close the share, and I will share again the presentation of him.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so let's see. So as I promised you guys, we're going to give some links to help you. So first of all, I don't know if you guys have already registered, but we're following up with the last session of our summer school, which will be on email automation. This will be Outlook and Gmail automation. I will give you the link now in chat. Those of you who have not registered and want access to the content or want to watch it live, please join RSVP the session. So this is the last session from our summer school, and if you want to participate in the end quiz for the program, you have to register for all the sessions. Then you will give a try in the end quiz of the program and receive an attendee diploma for the program, which we enrolled. So just RSVP for this session. Then from what you have seen today with RPA Learning, you also have 2 modules in Academy in the Citizen Developer Foundation course. These are a bit of a slower pace, and with much details and help, you can go through them through the Word automation and Excel automation. This will help you a lot in getting it right. Like if you really want to advance in Word and Excel automation, just take these links. You will also have them in the PDF which you will download, and I will try to put them in the follow-up email too. Keep these links, open them, go to Academy. It will take you to the Citizen Developer Foundation and to the modules for Word and Excel. It will be easy. You have much video support there too, and taking you step by step through all the actions and many exercise files too, and the solutions, of course. We are going to give you the solutions for today's exercise too, so don't worry. You will have tomorrow the presentation, the recording, and the solution to the exercise files. In the end, please do not forget, if you've come this far, just give us some feedback, please, on this program. You can either send the feedback on email at community@uipath.com or just complete this Google form for feedback. Please try to complete it. If you have any feedback for us or how this went, how the trainers were, how did you find the sessions, how did you enjoy this program, and whether you learned anything from it. We hope you did learn, and we hope you did have some fun and it was worth your while. I know many of you did, and we are glad to have had such a great number this summer with us. So thank you everyone for joining. Just stay close to us at community@uipath.com, contact us on email or just on our program page or community ecosystem page, which you have right here. So if you have any time left, just check out our community options and resources. You can find all the programs and upcoming events here. You can check out this page. And of course, you can check out the forum, which is one of the most important resources where you'll get help from. So on the community page, you have all these resources which will help you on your RPA path. Thank you again for joining. I hope you had a good time. I know it was a bit difficult and I'm sorry, but it was worth it. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a nice evening, a nice day, wherever you're from. Bye. And don't forget to give feedback, please.
Bye-bye, everyone. Nice having you guys in the session. And thank you to Oana, Christina,